Welcome to Westworld Season 3 Recap. Let's dive straight into the recap. Sometime after the Westworld massacre, Dolores has made her way into the real world and tries to get close to Liam Dempsey, the son of the co-founder of Insight, a tech company housing the most advanced AI in the world, Rehoboam. But before Dolores can come too close, she's found out by Liam's head of security, Connells. However, she instead lures him into a trap and he reveals the name of the other co-founder, Sirach, before having him killed by his host self. Dolores is also wounded, but held by Caleb, a former soldier, while the Charlotte host infiltrates Delos. After leaving Westworld, Bernard returns and finds Stubbs there. He discovers that Stubbs is also a host and reprograms him to protect him. Before returning to the mainland, they discover Maeve, but realize that her control unit is missing. Maeve is in fact being looped into a World War II narrative in Italy, but quickly realizes this. She tries to free herself by stealing her control unit, but fails. However, she is soon awakened in the real world by Sirach, who asks her help in stopping the one true threat, Dolores. Meanwhile, the Charlotte host learns of a plot that Sirach is silently taking over Delos by using a mole within the company who would feed him the guest data from all the parks, such as Westworld. She learns that the mole was her human counterpart, the real Charlotte. However, a strategic Dolores has hidden that data behind lock and key. Dolores also tells Caleb that Rehoboam is not just a predictive AI, but that it also has control over the behavior and future of every single human. Together, they decide to bring chaos at Sirach's and Rehoboam's artificial doorstep. After promising her daughter, Maeve joins Sirach and hunts down Dolores. This leads her to the Yakuza boss, who is in fact a copy of Dolores in the host body of the Ronin Musashi. Meanwhile, Bernard and Stubbs track Liam to a festivity, but are stopped from taking him by Dolores and Caleb, who kidnap him themselves. At the Yakuza hideout, Sato defeats and wounds Maeve and leaves her behind to die, while Charlotte has William committed to a mental institution after she reveals to him that she is actually Dolores. Through a narration of Sirach, he reveals that he and his brother Jean-Mi had built Rehoboam to protect humanity from itself, by identifying outliers, individuals who could become a danger to the rest, and separating these individuals from the rest of the population, including his own brother. While on the run with Liam, Dolores and Caleb force him to give them his key, which he eventually surrenders. With the key, Connells infiltrates Rehoboam and sends the personal future prediction of every human to their cell phone, causing major chaos on the streets. Having no more use for him, Ash kills Liam, who with his last breath tells Caleb about his past. Sirach puts Maeve back into Warworld after she lost her host body in the battle with Sato. There, she meets for the last time with Hector. At Delos, Charlotte fails in her attempt to stop Sirach, who reveals that he knows that she is Dolores. Wanting to escape, she kills the board members and guards and destroys Hector's control unit, effectively killing him, while also taking with her Dolores' control unit. Meanwhile, Bernard and Stubbs locate William, who is in the middle of killing different versions of himself while in therapy, and together they escape the mental institution. When Dolores and Caleb arrive at Sirach's re-education center in Mexico, they find Solomon, a predecessor of Rehoboam built by Jean-Mi. Once there, Caleb finds out that he was one of the few outliers that were successfully re-educated. He also discovers that he and his old friend Francis were mercenaries used to take out Rehoboam's enemies, and that the AI had him kill his own friend in the end. Dolores then convinces Solomon to help them get rid of Sirach, and the AI hands Caleb a data device to control Rehoboam. Following Dolores, Maeve tracks her to Solomon, but Dolores uses an EMP to disable Maeve, Solomon, and herself. Meanwhile, William tells Bernard and Stubbs that they should have killed him when they had the chance. Caleb takes Dolores' control unit to LA and inserts it to a new Dolores host body, while Charlotte sends her a message declaring her independency from Dolores. Maeve then shows up and fights Dolores for her key to the guest's data. she manages to disable Dolores and take her to Sirach, who hooks her up into Rehoboam to find the key. But before Dolores finally succumbs, she has one final virtual conversation with Maeve and convinces her to join their side. Maeve turns on Sirach and wounds him, while Caleb takes control of Rehoboam and orders the AI to be erased. Meanwhile, William shoots Stubbs and attacks Bernard. They survive and head to a motel, where Bernard tells an injured Stubbs that Dolores had hidden the key to the Sublime in his head. He enters the virtual world and only comes back after a very long time. At a Delos facility in Dubai, William finds the Charlotte host, who is printing hundreds of new hosts. He plans to attack her, but then the Man in Black shows up and fights him, leading to William's real death by the hands of his host counterpart. I have already recapped many series on this channel and will continue to recap many more, so subscribe if you want to stay in the loop of your favorite series. Also, let me know in the comments which series you want me to recap in the future. Thank you for watching and see you on the next recap.